more, I think, organized play here from both of our teams compared to what we saw in the first match that we did cast. We did see more organized play as well on the non-casted matches here. But it seems like straight from get-go, Expendables will try to challenge and just get that outside control onto mid as teammate will get the bomb planted down. Nice little shots from Ashisaha and leaving it all to the hands of Kachowski, who cannot commit, who cannot clutch the round as Papichulo hones into the brain and Expendables getting that first round.
And this is textbook Expendable. Well, I'd say textbook Brent Esports, but you know, this is pretty much textbook for all of them, where they rush in the side, they make sure to just get the bomb planted and then watch the angles. This is exactly how Brent plays in their other tournaments when they were still playing for Brent Esports, so to speak. And immediately we are seeing the buys on the Galils and the AK-47s have a little bit of utilities here on the side of Expendables. Esports will be staying on this USP, and Ja with the Galil just deleted Kachowski. No problems at all. Slight opening here on that smoke will be covered up by that secondary smoke. And this side is pretty much Expendables' site as Ja and Micro take down Rockaby and 4Yuki.
Bomb is going to get straight up planted on a weaker round for Kasaket. They can't really do too much. That is a deagle for Zaymari, but he will get immediately spotted as Expendables went in for the hunt, went out of the site for the hunt, not really fearing any form of ninja defuse because they got every single angle scrubbed clean. All they wanted is to not let that deagle go into the next round. And of course, you know what? Get kills, get the more money, and Expendables with a relatively clean round should be going into this one pretty damn happy. And speaking of which, I'm pretty sure since this is Kasaket's map pick, they did start off into CT. It still will go for that save and start setting things up, but look at that. Both of the teams just bypassing each other.
Yeah, the Dukes on their sides, the Dukes of Hazard, so to speak. It's a full A stack here on the side of Kasakati Esports. Expendables just took over this side without any contestants whatsoever, and because of that, Expendables will have a good time with their post plans here. We have a good position on Ja over at T-spawn just to prevent anybody from pushing into tunnels, just to support Papichulo as well. The limited number of flashes that Second Esports has, I don't think that it would be enough to really go for the retake here as Azihaha, Micro, and Ja just complete the job. It is down to a 3v2. For Yuki does have the AK-47. Zaymari low on HP, but gets a deagle shot onto Ja. Now Pro takes down 4Yuki. And Zaymari on his own will get taken out by Papichulo. And that's another round on the board for Expendables.
Great little start there from Expendables once again, but a little bit of expensive round as Kasaket found them all along the map, kind of trying to challenge and just get the site here and there. In any case, now should be the time for Kasaket to get the items that they want, to get the weapons that they need, and straight off the bat, a very expensive round to come in here for Kasaket. Double AWP, Kachowski and Foruki. Okay, nice little pop flash, waiting for it once again, but counter flashes from Expendables making it very difficult for Kachowski to speed anything through the flashes, and he is wrapped in the corner. He needs to hit the shot or else he's gonna go down. He had 2 chances, but none of them connected, and Micro entry fragging like a beast. Takedown 2 from Kasaket as Expendables. They got control of A, but you can see on the minimap, this straight up rotate to the B site, thinking that it might have been the A. No, it's gonna go for the B, and it's all gonna be to Rockaby to make it a denial as Expendables will set up outside of the B site.
And that was an expensive round for Kasakati Esports, all things considered. They had a double op setup, and they got completely overpowered by Expendables here as Rockaby gets a collateral onto Micro and Ja. Beautiful hold with that AUG, but Papichulo will take him out. Now it's down to a 2v2, an AWP and an M4 here on the side of Kasakati Esports, and they manage to take out that win. Thanks to 4Yuki with the double kill on that AWP.
I do like it. I mean, even if you do lose or you win a round like that, it's very expensive, but goes back to the norm that if you're against terrorists who can buy AKs, who can buy one-hit headshot weapons, even if you have Kevlar and helmet, it's okay to buy only the Kevlar because it doesn't really matter. So you can still buy up to the weapon that you want. Kazaket shouldn't have too much worry in their economy for this round, but it would hurt if they do lose another, as Expendables just set it up and light
Hold up.
the site ablaze with all of those flashes. But yeah, big flank from Zymari.
Yeah, Zymari will go for the spray down, catches the one, but gets traded out quickly by Papichulo. That could have been big. That could have been impactful to stop the push from happening here for Expendables, but very nice timing on the flick there by Kasakat Esports. Now the bomb will be planted. It is the 3v3. Still not doable as much. Not a lot of utilities here for Kasakat Esports. And just like that, all the members here fall down. Another round on the board for Expendables.
Just a really good crossfire setup there for... Actually, just for Expendables. Made it work. I really like how they know how to adapt with how their opponents are playing, or rather, if it's not that, they're dictating the pace of the game quite well. Where when they get the sight on like long or main or something, they immediately back away to the other, expecting that Kasaket should be going for a counterplay. Anyways, Ja does get to the flames, but his Galil is just too much. My goodness, able to hit double headshots with the Galil. You don't need the AK when you can aim like Ja. And look at this once again. Seems like the rest of Expendables will just be going around the map, and skirmish is gonna be the name of the game for the 6th round.
Man, I thought Ja was actually gonna sit out. I had a chat with him earlier on before the game started, and he's playing. He's feeling pretty good for his team. It definitely shows on how good their games are right now, so to speak. As it's just Zyremedy on zone in a 1v3. But yeah, Ja and the rest of Expendables are feeling good about this entire tournament themselves.
And looking at that, very, very good start for Expendables here. Even having Azizaha on this AWP once again. Maybe gonna go for a quick peek onto mid. If no smokes will be had, the cross will be so easy to punish, but they do spot out 2. As Pro was rushing down, immediately setting things up, getting that quick mid control. I really do like this, as there was no members of Expendables that was really positioned anywhere else other than mid, B main, and short. You thought it was going to be the push there from Kasaket, but not really, as Pro will be the lurk, and once again, the explosion onto the B side.
I like how they really baited out a lot of the utilities here from Esports. They good rotates as well, good mid-round decisions here, and good spray down from Papichulo, taking down Carlson as he was falling down from window. It's a 3v3, completely doable on the side of Kasakat Esports. They got a couple of flashbangs here to work with. Only thing I don't like here is that they have 2 AWPs. I've been saying this time and time and again, it's not the best weapon to clutch unless you are a god on the AWP. You know, if you summon your inner Kenny S, your Simple, or your inner Guardian, you just may. And wise call for Kasakat Esports to actually go for the trade here. But Zyremedy will lose that AWP in the process just for Yuki on his own. Takes down Ja. It's a 1v2. He has to save this AWP. And Expendables, they are on the hunt here. For Yuki, gets the trade. And gets knifed by Azihaha.
Well, I guess we would see that from the perspective of Zyremedy. Quite unfortunate that it was a knife that solidified it. But like you said, man, when you have an AWP and when you play as a sniper, one of the things that make you very, very vulnerable is that it's a one-shot, one-kill. Did say this when we were casting that match between the Wolves and 5-Stack, where if you lose a shot, there is a significant amount of lag time that makes you very vulnerable, exposed to your opponent, and you can get just crazy rushed. Speaking of crazy rush, Papichulo once again will get the kill here. Zyremedy will be holding on to the A short as he's going to be charging right out, getting a bit of control here, which I do really like. And if he can just connect the shot with the MP9, that would be fantastic, which he does, but gets immediately refragged by Rockaby as the rest of Expendables claim A.
It's another retake game here for Kasakat Esports. It's a 2v3, an AK and a Deagle. Might as well just pick up a weapon here for Yuki, and he does manage to pick up the AWP and save this round. That is the best course for Kasakat Esports. And if we can actually get to see the action unfold here as Rockaby takes down Pro for Yuki gets taken out by Ja. It's a 1v2 for Rockaby. And judging by how things are looking, Rockaby is slowly peeking towards Goose, but gets traded out over a Long.
They were on the weaker weapons. Nothing that they could really do for the most part, as Kasaket is getting overwhelmed. It seems like there was a point where Kasaket at the very start would look decisive and I would say challenging against Bren, or sorry, not Bren, X-Bren, Expendables. But it seems like they've lost that luster. Exprendables, yeah, I like that. Oh no, Zyra Marie! He has to run for his dear life and he cannot connect the shot as once again, the rain of flashes, the rain of terror, which are those flashes, will not stop and just give him a moment to breathe. Expendables, the blind is real.
We are seeing the Zyra Marie there. The rest of Expendables are already dominating this. The better call here for Kasakit Esports is just save this round. Just try to get exits as much as they can to get a dent on the economy of Expendables. There's nothing much that they can do here. And this is looking like a Bren matchup here, Asarai. What do you think? It's an 8-1 scoreline for Expendables. They are running really smooth here with their takes on the T side.
They're just rushing out very aggressively, and you can't really see Kasaket adjusting properly. And up until Kasaket adjusts to it and are able to counter it out, Expendables will keep going for these rush plays because it just works. And the way they're able to do it is Kasaket are not privy to using their utilities to counter out their opponents. Or even if they do try that, it seems like Expendables have just like the perfect read in the timings on where to really explode their utility. Because you saw that there was moments where Kasaket would throw their nades on A house, right? As they're trying to run out to long. But there's nobody there for Expendables. They were all waiting outside on A, or B rather. And now they're doing the same thing, and no nades will be thrown to counter out Expendables here.
Yeah, but there is a bit of a push here from Kasakit Esports over mid. It's only on to Jot to stop this initial essential push. Forced to use out that smoke. He's still alive. He's still pretty much healthy. But he needs to bail out of this spot, and it's looking like Expendables are eyeing out the A side here without any without any shadow of a doubt. Mid-round decision to rotate might be the best cause of action here because Kasakit Esports are currently pretty much stacked up over at A.
They do have a good amount of control on to short, but challenging without flashes and SMGs at that distance up against an AK will prove to be very, very challenging and difficult. And you can see really that easy just punishes, and once again the pop flashes. There's not really much that you can do when the pop flashes are perfect. There's just no counter to it. You can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't react to it, and all you can hope to dear God is that your aim, your spray through the blindness will just be alright. But in any case, Expendables just charged right out, and Pro, he got the balls to just back up his aggression and hits those, even through the molly as well.
Yeah. And this is just Expendables just showing us how Counter-Strike should be played. Be aggressive, and at the same time, be passive. There's a right amount of chaos that you can
Passive-aggressive.
Passive-aggressive, yeah. There's a right amount of aggression that you can push out to really be effective in through the usage of like kings here. Like it's almost like the utilities are free now because of the amount of kills that they get out of the pushes that they do.
There's nothing that they can. There's nothing that they can really do much. I mean, for Kasaket here, than just to give up the sites. They can try to go for post plant and whatnot, and maybe just allow the C4 to get planted. But it seems like a couple of pop shots will keep the rest of Expendables honest, but honest doesn't really begin to stop whatever Expendables are trying to achieve. There is a nice little cross. Should be spotted out. No shots will be had. Zymary is holding off his shot for the moment and just wildly goes through it. He has that little bit of a corner. Can he
Slight
see the
opening
peek
on
out?
that
Oh,
smoke.
we just missed it.
Oh my goodness. Looking at the Bren game, not Bren, Expendables game. It's a 10-1 scoreline. Kasakit Esports, the adjustment that they need to do here, I believe, is to just invest in Molotovs. Just stop the push from Expendables, man. That's what I want.
Or, grenades. Either way works. It could work either way. Oh, quick little challenge there onto the mid doors. I like to see it, but with so many rifles in hand, what's going to happen here? Azihaha is going to provide some bit of cover, and he's holding the back of it. He should be able to spot out two coming outside of A house. One more will challenge, and Carlson, nice little boost spot right there on their spawn from CT. With an MP9 in hand, he can't really steal any of the weapons because that smoke cuts him off. There's one into the corner, and Azihaha, unlucky. One of the first times we've seen Expendables be unlucky in terms of their timing, but in any case, the plant will be done on that C4. I do tend to mix up my games, I know, but it's fine. 10 to 11, 10 to 1. Kasakhet get really overwhelmed here by Expendables.
It's perfectly fine, that's alright, but what's not perfectly fine is what Kasakhet is, what Expendables is doing to Kasakhet. This is murder at this point. Completely outwinning the aim duels Expendables are doing. I'm feeling like there is no chance of this from stopping. And Kasakhet Esports' answer is a triple op setup. I'm curious to see if this is going to work well from them, but this is Carlson still relatively alive after getting Kowski loses AWP duel onto Alisasha. Azishasha gets another one of the Zyra Marie. That's the second opera falling down to the hands of Azishaha. You'll get taken out by 4UK, and 4UK should be the bastion of hope here for them, but Micro has other plans as he takes down Rockaby. Repositioning themselves, Spike, and Bomb is down. And that's the round over.
It's a sickness, man. I tell you, it's a sickness. But the more important thing, from our blunders and whatnot, is just how Expendables are able to do this. Because one of the things that I really do love when watching these pro teams, especially the higher the skill ceiling we go, is their understanding not only of their utilities, but also of the angles that they have. Where there's some angles as an attacker, as a defender, as a CT, as a CT, that might be spotted if you're on the other side, but not get spotted if you're on the vice versa of that. And it seems like Expendables know all of their angles and just are able to utilize that, especially Azihaha when he plays on the AWP. It just works. Now, there is some kerfuffle that was happening on B there, but since they are just on the pistols, they know that Carlson is here. Micro's just charging right out, and he gives no respect whatsoever to what's happening. And the last man standing is going to be 4UK, who is on their spawn, but he can't really go out there because the Molotovs and nades keep him contained. And right now, for the moment... Oh, he spotted him already. It's Ja! Ah, man. He did it once with the Galil, and now that he has his AK-47, those headshots just come to him naturally. 13-1, and as of the moment, Expendables, they're just unstoppable. We're kind of hoping that the deeper we get into this bracket of ours, right now into round 2, it would be a bit more challenging for some of these teams, but at least for somebody like Expendables, it just does not work out. It just does not seem to be anything. Kasakhet only has one round in this first map.
still a 14-1 scoreline. Only one round for Kasaka Esports. Very huge adjustment here. And Kasaka Esports, I mean Expendables, they are very good on the CT side as well on Dust 2. They're really gonna have to keep pushing here hard in order for them to get uh scoreline, hopefully for outside of the Esports. We'll see.
Yeah. If we're being realistic, it might not even happen because there's just so many rounds to get back. But you know what? That's the beauty of any game like this, especially CS:GO. It's not over till it's definitely over. It's not over till it's over. So as long as that round don't go 16, the grind is still up here for Casacat. They will be starting on the T side now, going to the second half. A little bit of explosion onto the mid. Nice little play there, but Pro just shuts them down one after the other. Beautiful marksmanship from this man right here, as Papichulo will follow up, but there's too much for him to just try to deal with. Azihaha is backing him up right there, but the punish, what are you doing, Rockaby? Just gets overwhelmed, but still, even through the punish, Kachowski picks it right back out. And that was kind of interesting, putting your backs on your opponent, knowing that they're still on spawn, thinking that maybe your teammate will be able to handle it. That's a bit too wishful thinking. The diligence is better option, but still, Casacat get that round. Step in the right direction.
Step in the right direction. A good start on the T side. Now, as much as this map, as much as this map is a CT-sided map, at the end of the day, Counter-Strike is almost always a T-sided game. All because of the fact that the Ts always dictate the tempo on where they will plant the bomb. Tries to get the shot. Pro with the deagles. Make it work. The taps are real for him. For Yuki already inside the site. The retake is now on for Expendables. This is still pretty much doable for Kasaka Esports. They do have the AK-47s, but Azihaha takes down Zaira Marie. Papichulo gets traded out by for Yuki. Now it's a 2v2 with a Deagle and an AK-47. The AK should be saved, in my honest opinion. Pro with the Deagle. If he can land the shots, could work wonders for him. And Pro will actually get the shot. And now it's a 1v1, but Carlson with the high ground advantage. Take down Pro, make it a 3-14 scoreline, and the dream is still alive for Kasaka Esports.
I can tell you, man, they just know the angles and how to deal with that. Coming up top of the ramp there, or the rise from CT spawn, using the field of vision just to traverse and try to make that deagle work for him, and it did in the end. Now, there is going to be a timeout from Casacat. Whether it's a tactical pause or a technical pause, this is a definite need. Even though they did win out that particular round, Nomad, it was still Casacat who survived with one person remaining, and Expendables just charged them and basically made it an incredibly expensive round.
Yeah, very expensive round. And on the side of Expendables, they have to half buy this round. If anything, go full buy for themselves. Azihaha will be working with a scout for now. He's been doing pretty good himself. And Kasaka Esports, the tempo that they're doing on the T side is working really well for them. Expendables are having a hard time keeping up with Kasaka Esports on the CT side. And I said that earlier on that Expendables were good on the CT side. Kasaka Esports, I guess, is their match here, especially on Dust 2.
Still, we haven't seen an Expendables full buy. So even if it is, Casacat seemed to be a good match on this T. Like you said, they're able to dictate the pace because they're on the T side. There hasn't been any form of utility usage from Expendables. And we know that they're a team that really thrives on capitalizing, playing around, and dominating their opponents around that utility usage of theirs. So we'll have to see how that pans out. For the moment, there's still no full buys for Expendables. But again, even with the weapons that they have like this, with just the USPs, P250s, and a scout for Azihaha, they have made it their mission to make it expensive rounds for Kasaket, even through these weaker buys.
Mm-hmm. And it's all down to Expendables' incredible aim dual prowess here. Got good aim from the years that they have been playing Counter Strike, and even if they have P250s, they would still make it work. Now, as we hop on to the 18th round of the game, it's looking like Kasaket Esports are opting to go for a full-on T side here. Micro gets a Zeus onto Rockaby. The beauty of that, and they get completely stopped as well on an eco round, and the Expendables are just giving them a masterclass of how to win the eco round. But it is a 1v2. Zyra still loses that duel, and it's now match point
Double
for
peek
Expendables.
out. That's true, though. I think a very, very quick match point for Expendables. Like I said, man, there is some challenges that definitely will be needed to address. But I really do like the play there from Kasaket. But I mean, it just seems like Expendables got everything red. I think that they can. It keeps them contained. In any case, ooh, I like the utility usage right there. Bouncing a couple of the nades there. Micro gets spotted out. And this is a step in the wrong direction for Kasaket, as these are measures that will put them deeper and deeper into this game one. Maybe even lose it and then just allow Expendables to go to game two.
And go to Noob. That's going to be a death wish, but that's the round. Expendables 16-3 versus Kasaket Esports take game number 1. And Nuke is the next map here. We could talk over and over again about how Kasaket Esports could have changed their way of play during this match. But really, Nuke is what Expendables really want to go into, and that is what Kasaket needs to work on. What do you think is going to be the outcome here on Nuke, Asarai?
If it's an Expendables map, which it is, because Dust2 was picked up by Kasaket, as was confirmed by the production to us guys. Again, there's not a lot of teams that I've seen understand Nuke, and this was like years back, right, when Nuke was still newly renovated, reconstructed, and everything. And it's not really a favored map here in the Philippines. Usually, you'd see Dust2, Mirage, Overpass, the basic maps. But Nuke is one of those where if you're not prepared for it, if you don't really have any setups for it, you will not budge an inch in this particular map. There are some chances where you could probably have default smokes and rush into the site, and that's probably what we're going to hope for, especially here in Nuke. But when it's an Expendables pick, you're just going to be in such a world of hurt. But we'll have to see what that happens. Is again, there is still a chance, because the fat lady don't sing. Don't stop moving,
Yeah, just keep dancing to the rhythm, supposedly. But if ever we do go into game number 3, we will be going on to Train, one of the maps where creativity is really the strongest suit here, where if you're creative with your flashes, creative with your plays, you'll be able to really succeed on the T side on Train. But Nuke, verticality is the number one thing that these teams have to go for. In Expendables are already way out there, just because of the fact that they get consistent scrims with other teams in the Southeast Asian region, in the Asia Pacific region for that matter, in Nuke. And that is how they got better and better with just understanding how Nuke goes. Because for the rest of us that play matchmaking or ESA or Face It, it's all down to just what the matchmaking has. But with all that being said, the knife round is ongoing right now onto Nuke. And Asarai, what's your quick prediction here, man?
It should be an Expendables win, no cap. We're going to be starting off this second map here. And, well, question back to you, Nomad. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you here. It has to be an Expendables game. Depending on what side Kasaket Esports lands on, if they manage to win the knife round, they need to get the CT side just so that they can have a comfortable start here. But other than that, I feel like this is going to be an Expendables game, as we are seeing the fast knives coming in here from Expendables. They're Kazakhstan Esports. They're not even attempting to play themselves. And now it's just a ring around the rosy game here for Carlson. Kazakhstan Esports wins that knife round, and the decision here, I'm sorry, for Expendables is going to be on the CT side, the preferred side on Nuke.
Yeah. Again, it's very difficult to pierce through the site when, as a terrorist in Nuke, there's just so many difficulties to go about that. I mean, you have to check every single corner. There's so many corners on this one. You don't get that intel real quick. You have to just charge right in and hope to God that you can clear out the corners fast enough. You can't go for a slower set of play here, but we haven't really seen Kazakhstan go for that type of play. They've always just been one to always rush and try to oppress these angles. But Expendables know what to do. Nate will soften them up a little bit, and here they come.
Yep, and Ja in the smoke, playing like Sui 2K. Gets taken out by Carlson after he gets a kill onto Rockaby. Now it's a 3v4. Kachowski gets taken out, and it's looking like a Kazakhstan round here. They did a good job going for the take, but I may just take that back. Papi Chulo takes out for Yuki. Good retakes here for Expendables, and they pretty much have the C4 down. They got all the angles down as well. Zyra Marie is low on HP, with 11 HP in a dream. There's no chance. A crispy headshot to wrap things up. A 1-0 for the Expendables.
I thought they were going to go straight to B, but they wanted to basically overwhelm the A site from multiple corners. So what they did was, rather than go to B ramp, they went all the way near CT spawn and went up the ladder to go for a pinch. And the one that was able to get the kill on Hut was looking pretty menacing, but could not get the kill on one of the members of Expendables that was positioned all the way up onto the left side vents. In any case, Expendables got key figures to just hold the site, and even though it was a really nice aggressive play from Kazakhstan, it fell way off at the seams. And speaking of going way off, just look at the charge out here from Expendables. If you can get one, they will just get the refrag straight up. They only get one damage, which is the kill onto Azihaha, and the Expendables starting this off, well, not really passive, but very aggressive and getting results nonetheless.
And I feel like that is the best way that you can go here on Nuke, especially if you're not familiar with the map as much. You can really get away with just being aggressive on Nuke to be able to force a plant or to just go for sheer raw firepower. You know what I mean? It's a patient man's map, but Ja is not as patient here as they miss each other. Zara already had the chance, and he took it. But that was a quick takedown over at long. Shaha with the AUG will hold down the outside angle.
Even if Jaw drops, it still doesn't remove the fact that they're on the weaker weapons. But this cross is going to be fatal. But Kachowski awakens with a scout in hand. He's going to have so much proficiency with this particular weapon, and from just these aggressive takes, it seems like the rug has been swept underneath the feet of Expendables. And I mean, they're running around with their feet cold. They need a bit of warmth here. It's not looking too good. Papichulo, MP9 in hand, in an SMG versus SMG fight. This could still work in his favor. He spots out the one, could go for the second, and he is bringing this all the way back. Just backed off way into vent, and he has all the time in the world. He can figure out where his opponent is and even go and figure out a different direction to attack, because he knows, Rockaby knows, that he is somewhere on that vent, but it's so risky, and Rockaby just charges right at him, maybe even going for B.
And it's a wild goose chase here, as Rockaby finally gets the plant down, switches the scout for the UMP. Papi Chulo and the MP9 will be prowling Papichul is still searching for an opportunity to get Rockaby here. It's a slow.
Doesn't make any noise.
Yeah. And the MP9 shots were the only thing that Rockaby heard.
What's kind of good about that is Papichulo, based on how he's been playing, he wanted to go for two things. One of those is that he wanted to close the gap because an MP9 at range doesn't seem to fare well at all, just because of the one fact that it's an SMG, it's an MP9, and I think up against a UMP. Correct me if I'm wrong. The chat right now might be furious with this. Feels like the UMP might be slightly better at the longer distance,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure that Papichulo knew that his opponent was pretty dinked already, so even just a brush with his bullet should be fine.
Yeah, that's true. The UMP is a better alternative if you're playing the close to mid-range angles. I mean, closer ranges, yeah, you'd rather just use the MP9, but the AWP is better on the long-range angles. And Azishaha just made it work, but Pro is making the M4 work even better as he stops the initial push, taking down Rockaby with him. And Carlson loses that duel against Ja. It's not a clear 50-50 here for Kasakat Esports. It's a 5v2. Better call here is to save, to be honest. But if they can just take down a little bit of the members here for Expendables, they could severely drop down the economy. But as Shaha already has an angle, he takes down 4 Yuki. It's just Kachowski on his own in a 1v4. 5, I mean. Kachowski takes him down. Micro goes for the trade. 4-0. Expendables looking to get a 16-0 scoreline. Or a 15-0 first half.
You see Expendables, they're so much able to get information throughout their entire team. If someone picks it up, say Pro, he spots out one, they back away. Azihaha is already looking at a different angle, looking to pick up the kill that his teammate was not able to get himself. It really puts Kasakat in a bit of a bind, because one of the things that they have to do now is to bamboozle their opponents. We're still pretty early into the second map. There is still some opportunities, but look at the crossfires being set up already, and then Azihaha once again, and the challenge from Micro. He does not respect his opponents there, just dropping right on top of heaven and just says, hello, nice to meet you. Here's a couple of bullets for you, and Papichulo does the same. Boom!
Not just a couple of bullets. He's got the entire clip that he dumped towards those two members of Kasakat Esports. Later Marie trying to make it work with his AK-47 though. Gets the one onto Ja, and immediately a lot of Molotovs and flashes being thrown out. And he's still trying to really bait out individual 1v1s here. He still has a little bit of more time, 53 seconds. But I don't think that this is winnable for him. And this very well be an Expendables 5-0 scoreline. Zaira Marie will go for the save here before the 18-minute break.
What does he have in hand? It's only an AK. Maybe he can charge right out and get a couple of kills, but yeah, at the end of the day, it should be a save. He needs to bring this. Maybe the hero AK in the next round. I don't know what's the economy for Kasakat, but for the most part, if you don't get those rounds, in the end, it just doesn't matter. Economy or no economy. Because even though CSGO is a tactical shooter, you get everything. There's everything that you can do in it as a tactical shooter. In the end, if you don't get those rounds, it just does mean nothing. You need to save this AK, but he's getting hunted down. Oh my god! And Papichulo just go it. And you can see Zaire Marie, he's holding on for dear life, and he does get it back into the next round. Beautifully done. But in the end, Expendables get 5.
Yeah, this is the Blue Shell kicking in for Kasakat Esports. They should have enough for AKs and a couple of utilities here. Rockaby opting to go for the Galil and smoke and a frag grenade. Azishaha and the rest of Expendables sitting comfortably in their economy. If they lose this, they're still pretty much comfortable in the next round. Not really much of a damage in the economy. And Azishaha still dominating this outside angle. Micro takes down for Yuki. And it's Kazakhstan Esports. They're really struggling to just take the site here, and it's all attributed to the fact that Expendables are really holding out the angles without any problems. And speaking of angles,
Look at
Ja
this. Yeah, go for it, man.
gets traded out. That's just wonderful, man. Just wonderful plays here from Expendables.
They're pinching, they're peeking, all at the perfect time. It seems like it's such a fishy thing to say, right? The timings and everything, but it's more of Expendables' ability to, again, like I said, relay that information and just work off of it very, very quickly. And Kasaket, this is one of the things that I think we saw also with the SR Wolves, and I believe that was 5-stack. Wherein if you're slow and try to get, you try to wait out your opponent and you don't get that information on where they are, try to make some setups, get some form of map control, your opponent will always just keep challenging you. It seems like Expendables is on the challenging end. Once again, Papachulo with a high enough angle. It's going to be pro, but his aim saves him. And that leaves two members of Kasaket to fend off for each other. And there's only one that has an AK. Zaira Marie does only have that deagle in hand.
And this is not enough to go for the clutch for the team. Save this round. Hope to get a better round on round 8. This round's pretty much done for Expendables. And there's nothing crazy, really. Just like how SR Wolves played their game against 5-stack, there's really nothing crazy that Expendables is doing here. They just have the better angles. They're just better with the communication and the rotations in this game. Guess like at Esports, they're struggling just because of that fact.
Oh, this Deagle got to connect. It's just not. They all line up for John. And even though he doesn't get those knockouts, in the end, it's the bullets to soften him up. Kobe comes out from Papachulo. And once again, Expendables unstoppable in their warpath.
Unstoppable indeed. Sylvester Stallone and company would be proud of this Expendables lineup. Because they themselves are not expendable. They have not expended a single round towards the side of Kazakhstan Esports. And looking at how the economy is for Kazakhstan Esports, they lose this. They should be able to get. They will be back on pistols the next round, and it's looking really grim, man. All things considered, Expendables should have this game, no doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if this would turn into a 16-0 scoreline for them, or a 15-0 first half at the very least. Like Kazakhstan Esports, they're switching things up. They're trying to play as slow as possible this time around. Kachowski with the spray down with the AK. Will not really catch Azi Shaha there over a ramp. And again, it's just Expendables not over-committing themselves in the pushes. Play as slow as possible. Just get information in micro. Got the information. We'll get spotted out by Rockaby. We'll get traded out there. Kachowski, I mean, is in the side already. It's a 4v2 and Expendables. They're dominating this game.
Very aggressive. I do like how Kachowski was able to play that. Carlson on top of the silo. Hello. Okay, this is a step. This is a step that they need. I do like the off angles that they're using. It's not really off angles, but they're still using these delay pushes to work in their favor. But Pachulo has infiltrated enemy territory, enemy lines, and what seems to have been Kasaket with a nice little breath of fresh air in that round, in the 7th round, got slapped away as Papachulo just charges right on and catches them off like a fly swatter, just swatting away the bugs. Whiz whiz.
Whiz whiz.
I don't know. Is that how it sounds?
All I know is that it pops. Or wait, that's an electric fly swatter. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're just swatting away the flies here. And speaking of swatting away, the bullets are acting like a good bug spray here, as the Pro and Micro tried to not try. They're really just the CZ. Oh, there you go. But yeah, they're being the what do you call those guys again? Pest control. They're the pest control here in Nuke. Kind of expensive bug spray, but they're doing the job right. 9-0 for Kasaket Esports. And if you're a fan of Kasaket Esports, better give them your energy in chat because they need every single ounce of that. As we go into the 10th round of the game, full utilities here for Expendables. Not a lot to work with here for Kasaket Esports. As Azishaha takes him out, gets 2 onto Rockaby and Carlson. Over on the outside, Kachowski has the AUG. Trades out Azishaha, makes it a 3v4. A slight shine of light here, but Pro on red will take down Kachowski.
That just does not feel good. The double peek out and still the operator wins. That is definitely a devastating moment there for Kasaket. Zyra Marie, last person standing, has done some brilliant stuff in this series, but with only 5 kills. Well, maybe, you know what, she can get the 4 and go straight to 9, but she's getting hunted and she's there. Michael was just waiting for him. Maybe even get close enough and still not spotted. Could get a knife kill, afforded a knife kill. In any case, Expendables, 10 straight rounds now.
Gunning for 5 straight here. No money here on the side of Kasaket Esports. Sticking with the 2 nades here, not... I'd rather just go for a full save here from Kasaket Esports. Rockaby forces the Mac 10 and utilities. This is expensive for them. All things considered. The Deegs should connect. The nades do connect. Kachowski take down Pro. Takes down Pro. Carlson pushes on forward with Kachowski. Secret is now fully in the control of Kachowski. Expendables will have to get this read because Kasaket Esports is already leaning towards the side. And for Yuki, he needs to make sure that his shot, his crosshair is just on point. Carlson, with this push, takes down Azishaha. This is looking like a round for Kasaket Esports. As I say that, Ja takes down for Yuki. Kachowski takes the 1, gets the 2, and that's the first round on the board for Kasaket Esports.
All because Kachowski took down Pro. Pro was feeling himself there a lot more. He was very confident he would connect those shots, but Kachowski, a moment of brilliance, followed up into even more. And now Kasaket, they got a score on the board. It's not the end of the world, but again, they have to keep this round. Keep forgetting to tell our viewers as well, especially those who are new, that if you do lose, you also lose your loss round bonus. Means that no money will be had for you. You're going to be resetting your economy, and you'll be forced to once again not be able to purchase up those rifles, but high up into the air. Aziha rains terror from above. Carlson, though, immediately gets that refrag, punishes. So, stabilizing into the 1-for-1 trades. And Pro, well, I thought it was going to be Zyra Marie once again for that flank, but with all these smokes, Expendables seem to be more reliable of the smoke criminals. And Micro, that's up for Yuki. Rockaby will be charging right out, but Papichulo once again denies any form of control from Kasaket.
Man, Expendables are just really... They're just really strong right now, man. I'm not mincing words here. This is looking like the best team that we have so far that we've casted. And they're potentially going to be facing off against SR Wolves later on in the semifinals. And Kasaket Esports, they need to really step up their game on the CT side of things. Play it as perfect as possible with their setups, with their angle holds, and with their retakes. Because for now, Expendables, they're on fire. They have the momentum on their side. And Azishaha will connect the shot onto Carlson, and Zyra Marie immediately with the flank makes his way inside. But Papichulo will go for the spray down, gets the 2! That's 3! Even almost, but Ja takes the kill onto Kachowski, but still, that was a good hold by Pro.
Great spray control there. I mean, he doesn't get the early kill, but it did force Kasaket to rush right out and try to challenge a double crossfire setup. I honestly thought it would be Kasaket to win that one out, but one after the other, they just got mauled by Expendables going in through B site. And right now, Kasaket, they still should be able to buy up. The AKs are in hand, and almost Pro gets his tear taken off. What is happening here? They're just looking at each other, and Pro still gets the shot off. Atihaha awakens once again on the outside, and a quick round. Expendables show dominance. This is why they're one of the best teams in the Philippines.
I don't know what that was, but Kasakit Esports just dropped the bomb in their spawn that round. That shouldn't happen. But all things considered here, that was a fast round. Expendables couldn't do anything much. There they are again, dropping the bomb just outside, not wanting to give out away the information, but Azishaha, aggressive as AWP, feeling himself, takes out Gachowski. Micro with the Molotov, Flom, base, Carlson. Zara Marie pushes out forward, takes down Azishaha, and it's a 3v3, and it's all completely doable here. They need to watch every single thing as Ja throws out the Molotov in good faith that nobody pushes out. Zara Marie will be responding with that Molotov throw himself. It's a 3v3, still a lot of time to work with here for Kasakit Esports.
It's a really big flank that's coming in from Pro. He's about to hit the mother load just a little bit more. His teammate is right beside him as well. I do like how Kasaket really did just force out these angles. Expendable not rotating quickly enough to go and hold off a different type of angle, as they know that their opponent would just be in that corner vicinity. Anyways, Ja is just going to be reeking some bullets. Zara Marie, nice little crossfire setup from Kasaket, and they just cannot get this one on top of the Rams. Finally do spot out. The 1-for-1 trade. It's got to be the CTs to bring it all the way back and be... And he hits the shot. Beautifully executed. Nice little reaction time. We still have a game on our hands, but it's heavily in favor of Expendables. 13 rounds to 2.
Yeah, CT side is where Kasaket should really play properly. We need to see Kasaket Esports really shine on the CT side to stop Expendables from securing the match point. There are a lot of rounds that Kasaket Esports needs to work on to really catch up. One of them is the pistol round. They are buying out full armors here against Expendables. That is a good call, considering the fact that Expendables will be mostly running Glock 9s. They really need the armor as much as they can, and as I say that, the bodies are starting to fall down. So on the side of Kasaket Esports, for that matter, the armors didn't even matter for that matter. So now down to a 2v4 for Yuki and Zaira Marie. Will do what they can to go for the retake. And that's a good opening for Yuki. They gets a double, but Pro and Papachulo does quick work on the rest of Kasaket Esports. 14-2.
That was almost a good hold from Kasaket, but again, if you're not gonna be able to predict or fend off this aggressive push, Expendables will just charge at you and charge you with your life, with your sight, and the bomb being planted down. And they're not going to stop once again. Kasaket are going to go for a forced buy here. They can't do anything other than that, because if they lose this round, it's match point, and playing to go into overtime is never the better option. Nice little nade to soften up Expendables there once again, but they're not stopping with this choo-choo train. It's coming in. Well, platform 9 3/4, are you ready to board? Here we go.
And Azishaha is ready to board, and he is a conductor in this train of destruction. Now 2 members. 15-2. Makes it a 15-2. Azishaha is on fire. 23 kills to his name. And his match point, by the way.
Oof. They have to buy once again. They're going to be on these very, very questionable, weaker weapons. FAMAS's MP9 and a and a scout here for Kachowski should be coming out of the open. Challenged them right out, but Expendables going for the same play. Are they just gonna go rush into the B site? No, they just hold it off. And here we go. Tropical Hut down. Silos will be taken, and Ja, once again, this man just does not miss.
And they are not going to miss their chance to move into the semifinals here because it's a 5v2. It's looking like a 16-2 scoreline here, but Carlson has other plans. Takes down Azishaha, makes it a little bit more doable on their side, but Micro has other plans. Takes down Carlson. Now it's down to Kachowski to try to clutch this for his team with a scout in hand. I don't know if it's going to be worth the while, but he needs to clutch this, no doubt. He will be playing from the rafters area. I'm not sure if it's going to be impactful here, but he is going to yeet out of here. Hoping to get a ninja. He's definitely going to get spotted out. He's just going to go for it. That's the game. He gets a knife out of it, but you know, that's 16-2. Expendables get 2 zeros in this best of 3 series versus Kasaket Esports.